Between Now and Forever, The Callaways, Volume 4, written by Barbara Freethy, performed by Shannon Mcmanus. Chapter 1. It felt like earthquake weather. Nicole Prescott slipped off her bright orange sweater and tied it loosely around the waist of her jeans. It was unseasonably warm for the last day of October, not a trace of breeze blowing off the bay, not a hint of fog sweeping across the tall red spires of the Golden Gate Bridge, just blue skies and an eerie stillness, as if something momentous was about to happen. It was just her imagination, she told herself, heightened by the ghosts and goblins running through the Halloween carnival at Washington Elementary School. The school sat at the top of one of San Francisco's many steep hills and overlooked the bay and marina. The auditorium had been turned into a haunted house, and wooden booths dotted the playground, offering games ranging from darts to a water balloon toss and a cakewalk. Smells of popcorn, hot dogs with mustard, and salty pretzels warmed the air, while children in costumes roamed the playground. Everything seemed normal, and yet it wasn't. At least not in Nicole's quiet corner of the yard. Glancing at her 6-year-old son, Brandon, Nicole bit back a sigh of frustration. She'd hoped that Brandon would find a way to join in the carnival fun. She'd dressed him up as Hercules, with a chest plate, a black cape, and some muscled armbands. She'd even given him a sword to carry. Her son had ditched the sword upon arrival, and a few minutes ago had tossed the chest plate onto the ground. Instead of playing games with the other children, Brandon knelt by the line of rose bushes that ran along the fence at the furthest end of the school property and as far away from the carnival action as he could get. Digging into the dirt, he pulled out pebble after pebble, his entire being focused on the stones as he arranged and rearranged them in patterns on the cement path. Every few minutes he would swap one rock with another, his small fingers moving with a passion and a purpose Nicole could not begin to understand. She watched as Brandon picked up a stone, sweeping his finger across the surface, tracing the rough edge, as if he were memorizing the curves, the cracks, the weight. Then he set the stone down and picked up another one, seeking a pattern, a conclusion, that would bring some sort of closure to his obsession. But the end never came. Even when he seemed to find the perfect match, he was never completely satisfied with the result. Lately there appeared to be a greater urgency to his movements, as if he thought he was running out of time. Nicole yearned for some way to connect with her only child, but most days Brandon seemed unaware of her presence, his focus so pure, so single, and so solitary. His world was his own, and she had no place in it. When she tried to interfere or help, he would go into an angry, agitated frenzy, hitting his forehead with the palm of his hand over and over again until she backed away. For 3 years, she'd battled her son's diagnosis of autism, researching every new therapy, constantly changing his diet, taking him to doctor after doctor. But while she'd seen small changes in his behavior, nothing significant had occurred. Her son was trapped in his own head, and she couldn't find a way to get through to him. The pain of that broken connection was relentless. While Brandon might not remember the first few years of his life, she had forgotten nothing, from the sweetness of his joyous smile when he woke up in the morning, to the feel of his soft arms around her neck when he'd hugged her, the sound of his laugh, half snort, half giggle, and the touch of his hand in hers. He'd been perfect for 2 years, 11 months, and 6 days. And then he'd changed. He'd become withdrawn, isolated, and unresponsive. It was as if the light in his brain had gone out. Terrified, she'd fought desperately to find first a diagnosis and then a cure. But the enemy she fought was winning the war, invincible at every turn. She'd prayed for a miracle, but none had come. She'd put Brandon before everything and everyone else in her life, including her soon-to-be ex-husband, Ryan. Another ache filled her heart, this one having nothing to do with her son, and everything to do with the man she'd vowed to love for all time. She tried to shake Ryan out of her mind. There were only so many emotions she could handle at one time. Brandon paused, his body stiffening as he stared.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?